Okay, so there is a tremendous amount of updates with the development of the Iran conflict. Lots of countries are not allowing military aged men to leave their country without approval first because they might have to stay and fight. Gas prices are surging, airplanes are canceling flights, but more importantly, the second pilot that was down from, I think it was the F-15, has now been found, and there's currently a rescue mission taking place. There's a lot to take a look at in this video. I hope you do stick around for the full thing. All I ask is for you guys to hit the like, subscribe to the channel, and let's get into this. Starting off with the good stuff. The second pilot has been located. Okay, this was like posted moments ago. An evacuation is currently in progress. American Delta and Special Forces have reached the downed pilot and are destroying the IRGC like nothing you've ever seen before, according to people on the ground. Second pilot located. Breaking live coverage in a space right now. Rescue op underway. Clash between special forces and an Iranian Basij with unconfirmed reports of injuries. Massive traffic as Iranian civilians flood the region to capture the pilot. The next few minutes and hours will be the war's most dangerous yet. And so this truly feels like it's a Black Hawk Down situation, because pretty much all of Iran has been given some form of a incentive to find the pilot, capture him alive. And so truly Saving Private Ryan, Black Hawk Down, not to try to turn reality into, movie references, but I mean, shit is really hitting the fan when it comes to this. We've got more developments here for the downed pilot that's stuck in Iran. Credible reports that the missing F-15E weapon system officer has been recovered alive from inside Iran. Jack Murphy, a former Green Beret national security journalist, reports the WSO was evading capture on the ground when rescue forces reached him. A massive firefight at the recovery site. If confirmed, American special operators just fought their way into Iran, found the pilot, and then pulled him out alive. The most dramatic combat rescue since the war began, possibly even in decades. Then in Dadash tonight, civilians are reportedly in the streets as U.S. airstrikes crater roads to block IRGC convoys racing towards the downed pilot. And you can see here, I mean, if this is true, unconfirmed reports of thousands of civilians and tribesmen heading towards the clashes between U.S. forces and the IRGC in southern Iran or southwestern Iran. You can see here there is just so many cars. Look at all those cars backed up. I mean, it really does feel like, if this is true, if this is the reality, these men are potentially fighting an insane battle right now for their lives to get out of this sticky situation. Look at that. All of those people there. And for the most part, a lot of Iranians are scared for their lives because of the disgusting terrorist regime. So if they spot something, they would probably likely rat it out to the IRGC in order to get some sort of bonus points, right? Unless they are very much anti-regime, which a lot of the Iranians are, which is why you see so much support for President Trump just overall, especially with what he's doing with the regime change. But there you go, folks. You're all caught up now on everything right down to the minute of what's happening with the downed pilot. But let's continue with the news, shall we? Apparently on the Artemis 2 toilet's vent, it froze over, potentially causing the terrible smell that astronauts reported. Let's have a listen right from NASA himself.
During the night, we tried to vent the wastewater tank that's attached to the toilet. We had problems with that due to suspected blockage, we think probably due to ice. So we directed the crew overnight to use their collapsible contingency urine devices, just like they did on flight day 1.
And I also heard that they were actually turning the whole vessel, the Artemis 2, towards the sun a little bit more, at least where the toilet is, to help thaw it out. I don't know. It just seems like a really shitty situation. Then airlines are canceling flights as jet fuel shortages are spreading globally. You also have this fake report that went a little bit viral this morning, where President Trump was reportedly admitted to Walter Reed Medical Center. I even asked Grok if this was true, and Grok said no. And you can see immediately debunked by also large accounts saying President Trump has not been hospitalized. Then you have a video of, America and potentially even Israel bombing Tehran earlier this morning. And Trump posted a video of the missile attack saying many of Iran's military leaders have been terminated with this massive strike in Tehran. Then you have the U.S. Air Force has lost more than 7 aircrafts since the start of the war in Iran, according to CNN. All young men between ages 17 and 45 are no longer allowed to leave Germany for more than 3 months without permission. So there you go. Seems like you're going to have some sort of conscription on the rise in European countries. Then there was this recent clip of Trump saying this about Iran.
We've won this. This war has been won. The only one that likes to keep it going is the fake news. I mean, the New York Times, you read the New York Times, it's like we're not winning a war where they have no Navy and they have no Air Force and they have no nothing. And we literally have planes flying over Tehran and other parts of their country. They can't do a thing about it. For instance, if I want to take down that power plant, that very big, powerful power plant, they can't do a thing about it. It's like, take me. That's all they can do. And yet, if you read the New York Times or if you watch ABC fake news or NBC fake news, you'd say it's a close battle. It's not a close.
So I don't think it's close at all. I would have to agree with President Trump here that America is, very much one-sided. The one-sided war right now. It does suck that so many recent planes have been struck down by the Iranian regime, and then a pilot did go missing, but hopefully special forces and other units can pull that guy out of there, because, well, it's going to lead to a massive retaliatory response nonetheless from the United States. But let's move on here to what Keir Starmer had to say in the UK about the impact of what's going on with the UK and Iran and Trump.
It's not going to be easy, clearly. And in the coming weeks, as you would expect, we will continue to assess the economic effects. We will continue to stand up for the British national interest. And we will continue to do what we must to guide our country calmly through this storm. However, it is increasingly clear that as the world continues down this volatile path, our long-term national interest requires closer partnership with our allies in Europe and with the European Union. Now we have made progress on this front, on agriculture, electricity, emissions trading, and more. But as the Chancellor has rightly pointed out, Brexit did deep damage to our economy, and the opportunities to strengthen our security and cut the cost of living are simply too big to ignore. So, in the coming weeks, we will announce a new summit with our EU partners. And I can tell you that at that summit, the UK will not just ratify existing commitments made at last year's summit. We want to be more ambitious. Closer economic cooperation, closer security cooperation, a partnership that recognises our shared values, our shared interest, and our shared future. A partnership for the dangerous world that we must navigate together.
Yeah, if the UK, if France, if Germany, if all these other European countries don't get their shit together and start assisting the United States in this conflict to open up the Strait of Hormuz, to get the regime out of there, I think things are going to get pretty ugly. But that's my opinion, folks. I'd love to know your guys' opinion about what Keir Starmer had to say down below. Then we got to take a look at this CNN clip where they're just a bunch of idiots. I know people have a hard time getting through CNN. Don't get me wrong, so do I. But this is just, it's too funny and ridiculous to not play.
President Trump today, in a bunch of different Truth Social posts, he seemed to be suggesting a whole lot of escalation. He says, keep the oil. He says, with more time, we can easily open the Strait of Hormuz, make a fortune from the oil. He adds bridges next, then electrical power plants. Their new regime leadership knows what needs to be done. And perhaps he's saying that because there are reports in the Wall Street Journal that Iranian mediators have told the United States that there will be no talks this weekend, that things might be falling apart in terms of talks. And just to remind the audience, Monday is Trump's deadline for when he gave them a little bit of extra time to reach a deal. Otherwise, he would strike them, in a catastrophic way.
Well, a few points to what you just brought up, Abby. First, we may have to escalate to de-escalate. Sometimes that is the trajectory that conflicts such as this take. The second point is the New York Times had a story today about how Iran is skeptical of diplomacy, and that's because they don't believe in diplomacy. They only understand the language of conflict and force, and that is why President Trump made this decision in alliance with Israel to take seriously their desire to obtain a nuclear weapon. And it may require an escalation to force them to that diplomacy table. But I mean,
luckily it's still Easter long weekend right now, so I don't think you're going to have any crazy action or volatility that translates into the real Western world, such as the economy, stocks, just the news cycle and things like that. Seems like most things are on delay right now for the long weekend, except for the news of the downed pilot, which I hope they're able to recover. But I'd love to know what you guys think down below in the comments. What's going to happen on Tuesday? Do you think that there's going to be an increase in military action? Do you think President Trump is going to unleash all hell on Iran and the regime in Iran, the terrorist regime, because of what they've done for downing that pilot and chasing him the way that they have? Let me know what you guys think down below. That does conclude the video, ladies and gentlemen. This is developing minute by minute. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let's all just pray for the man who is fighting for his life and the special forces who are going in there to try and do, what seems to be so impossible and so movie-esque, right? I mean, we can just use our imagination to think of what they are actually going through. And I'm sure that we'll get more information in probably the coming hours, not even days. Hope you enjoyed it. Hit the like, subscribe. Make sure you subscribe and turn post notifications on so you can actually stay updated on this situation, as I will absolutely make a new video once there is more information. And I'll see you guys later. Happy Easter. Bye for now.